30 years of ministry. We're overwhelmed that it's been that long. It seems like just yesterday until you look at pictures of our kids and us. But we wanted to make this short video to glorify God and thank Him for all that He's allowed us to do for Him around the world, something we never thought would happen, and also to thank you, our supporters. And so just to kind of give a background, because 30 years is a long time, and many of you we've known for those 30 years. But, I was a professional trumpet player, musician for several years, and didn't grow up in the church. Laura and I got married, and during that time, I gave my life to Jesus Christ. And so after about a year, I quit the music business. I wanted to get out of that lifestyle and figure out what it was to follow Jesus Christ. And so I sold all of my instruments, quit the music business. We moved back to Colorado and did other things during those 4 years. And then I started playing again at the church we were going to. And then at a Bible conference I performed at, I felt God call me into the ministry. And I really didn't understand what that was. Laura didn't grow up in a church that really had missionaries. But thankfully, God brought the two of us together. And so then for about the next 6-7 months, I talked to family, parents, friends, Christians, pastors, to try to tell them the calling that I was feeling. And well-meaning, all of them said, God's not calling you to play your trumpet for Him. You're crazy. The pastor at that church actually told me that missions isn't all it's cracked up to be. And he's right, because it's much better than we could ever imagine. But, one pastor that we had in the past, when I called him and told him what I was feeling, he said, if you feel like a cattle prod just poking you in your back to do something for God, then go do it until that cattle prod leaves. And so that's really what I felt. And so one of the verses that kind of stuck with me during this time, it was out of Galatians chapter 1, verse 10. And it says, am I now trying to win the approval of men or of God? Or am I trying to please men? If I were still trying to please men, I would not be a servant of Christ. And so, pastors started to invite us to come in, and we traveled as a family for about 11 years with our children, and all over the country and into Europe. And then it snowballed. It just kept snowballing. And then God sent us into Africa. And so it's just been an amazing journey for us. And thank you for all of your support.
I want to thank everybody in the United States and in Europe who opened their homes to us and housed us and fed us. I want to thank all of you that have provided amazing experiences for our family, whether cultural, educational, or just plain fun. Matthew 25:35 says, "For I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you invited me in." And verse 40, "The king will reply, I tell you, whatever you did for the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." I want to thank all you precious saints who did these things for us. We are truly blessed and grateful.
Amen. Amen. So after we're done talking here, I'm going to show you some pictures of some of our travels and some of my music, clips from my music. These are these are pictures from just some of the overseas work we did. We traveled from 1995 to about 2013 full time between the family or just myself going, and I was doing 150 plus concerts and services a year, whether that was in churches and concert halls and on the street or school clinics, whatever the case may be. We can't show you pictures from all of those travels around the United States. We'd love to, but we'd be here for hours. And so the few pictures we're showing are just from all the different mission trips, most of them, I believe, and some clips from some of my music. So to God be the glory. This is not about us. We couldn't be doing this without Him, His calling, and His continual prodding to us to continue. And the work now since 2013 has been full-time in Uganda, and which has just been amazing with the school and the church and the farming and supporting the abandoned women and widows and their children and their business shops. And it's just it snowballs even down in Africa where they don't have snow. So, and so enjoy the rest of this. Thank you so much for your faithful prayers, your sacrifices of food and everything that Laura mentioned, and your financial support of what God's called us to do. And I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. God bless.